And if you guys want to hear some pretty cool news for any casual gamers out there, GTA 6, here goes the prices. So you know what we can do while I'm talking? So I just deactivated my TikTok account, which a lot of people say like, YouTube is the king of all social media platforms. And I already like pegged that from the very beginning. It's pretty much looking like this. But yeah, it feels like those times where I would feel down and stuff, but I don't feel too down because at the end of the day, YouTube's like my second job. Hello everyone, my name is Tyler, the lovely boy here on the land of YouTube, here on this side of the internet, of course. Hope you guys are having a lovely day, and I am too, of course, as ever. And I'm bringing you lovely flair and air type of energies to y'all's viewing screens as viewers here on this video. And what day are we gonna have today? A lovely one. So let's get to it, okay? Okay, hello everyone. After that long inducing intro, of course, I had to do that so many retakes so many times right now because I really am wanting to bring the living flair and air energy to your guys' screens, of course, as well as to my life, of course, as well too. So this is another spend a day in my life type of video, like what's going on with me, of course, updates here and there as ever with my job, with my lifestyle, what I'm doing today, right here, right now, in this little video of sorts, of any type of nature of how I'm making this video. So first things first, my base, my boyfriend, love of my life, my soulmate, he went back to work at his retail job. He was just on like a little short break, but he has a long shift today like he did yesterday when I filmed The Amazing Digital Circus light oppression slash recap slash review. So you guys get into that business, of course. If you guys are in touch with your youthful side as adults or your creativity, pretty cool show, cartoon catered to adults. And again, it's based off slash, I want to say more so inspired by the book, I Don't Have a Mouth and I Must Scream. And I now remember that up to right here or now. But yeah, hopefully that gets some views in the long run because I really did put a lot of loving energy into that video and into the thumbnail. That's the time where I really put my creativity in there, like just to like be something that the children can feed upon, aka adults or anyone who just loves that type of like pop culture type of video of sorts. But yeah, I'll begin to like pop culture stuff here and there sometimes. So please forgive me for everyone who's really want to see me do day in my life videos. Again, it's just all about me in a sense of like my personality. If you just love my loving personality here and there, then you'll pretty much love me just doing anything that I'm getting into and that I may introduce to you guys, because I try to introduce like cool things to people that's unbeknownst to them. If you want to say you're someone who lives under a rock, I do not down no one for that. Keep your peace and your loving energy, you know what I'm saying? So you can feel sane in your membrane in your life. Like I always, give kudos to people who can do that. Just like me at times. But besides that, y'all, we're traveling in the dark for a little bit right now, but I'll just keep it dimmed right now on the laundry machine like I did in one of my older videos, of course, y'all, and one of my older day of my life videos. So let's talk about TikTok. So I just deactivated my TikTok account. I pretty much saw a guy's video. You may know him right here. He maybe not like a well-known person. I think he has over like 17,000 subscribers. I'll have that included with his PFP picture, aka abbreviation for profile picture, that I now know. I'm today's old to know what PFP means, like from late last year into this new year, of course. Please forgive me for my internet culture here and there. But yeah, because I'm part of the Zillennial / cluster of millennial group, so it's like I should know a lot about these lingos and technology stuff. But I now feel like it's more so of Gen Z type of quote unquote not really obligations to know the internet lingo now and again. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, he pretty much is talking about like how he switched from short form content from Instagram and like reels and stuff into just doing long form content on YouTube, which a lot of people say like, YouTube is the king of all social media platforms. And I already like pegged that from the very beginning, like of 2018, when I started just binging nothing but YouTube videos and I started seeing people make, YouTube their full-time job and really gain some great opportunities from it, staying humble as ever for the people I would watch back then. And yes, some people that I would watch that I would be highly entertained by, and they'll be goofy and funny as ever as internet personalities. They'll get themselves into some crazy scandals, which I would never want to be in. It's like when you see the people who come before you, learn from them and do better, kind of like for them / by them, but like for your own self and for your own well-being, to save you like the heartache and stress of like any controversy or scandals that may come your way. It may happen to me, but at least I have this video as evidence and just to look back on to be like, hey, Tyler, keep your peace. Or any future YouTubers or social media person out there, or anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur or self-employed person, just keep your peace. And just stick to your own self and your kind, cool, chill groups of people, like your subscribers, your followers, your audience, your viewers that watch you and care about you. You know what I'm saying? Just stick with them and everything will be okay. Even if it's like defaming here and there. I'm getting off the track, but I digress on those stuff. But those are really good, like, I feel like wise words really for me to keep with me in the future of my career here on the land of YouTube. Still feels a little bad saying that, but yeah, my lovely career here on YouTube, but as a YouTuber, that's Eva. But yeah, I got off TikTok because the guy just showed, he says like it just felt like competitiveness, like a few years ago, like probably 3 or 4 years ago, where people were talking about, I'm just chasing the likes, I'm just chasing the comments, I'm just chasing the next engagement. And very much being like people who went to major in marketing, and they're just like, being taught the nitty-grittiness once again to an actual ad agency about like, hey, we gotta do all this sketchy stuff to actually get people to click. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being honest and truthful and telling people upfront what they know they're getting themselves into when they're shopping around for whatever stuff, metaphorically or realistically speaking, in real life, where they're shopping for something and you're telling them a lie about the product instead of the truth, so they can feel like they could be on board with it or not. Because again, not everyone's gonna like this said product or like you when it comes to shop around for their next favorite YouTuber or social media person. But yeah, and I kind of almost felt like that on TikTok. I always get into this slump over TikTok, and I deactivated my page like today after watching this video, because it just really hit like a heart in my soul and my being, and a tiny voice was just telling me that I need to like make a YouTube video like talking and addressing like TikTok, and a lot of people have, and it's like I'm the next person out of the works of 1,000 or hundreds of plethora of people who left the platform, and especially someone who is of the millennial generation / the zillennial millennial cusper generation as well too, where it's like that platform has been already cultivated and cultured by the young generation after millennials and the millennial cusper people. And it's like me, part of the generation, like I could still get with it, but at the same time, I just felt like I was just chasing something, like chasing exposure, like chasing like like what could be the quick gratification thing to like elevate me, when really I just want YouTube, and I just really want YouTube to be a part of my lifestyle. And maybe I want to upload a lot of videos here and there, maybe I want to upload like 2 videos a week or 1 video a week all of a sudden, but I always tell myself I really do want to be a 24/7 YouTuber, just to show people I'm in it to win it type of thing. And yeah, and honestly, like the culture on TikTok is pretty much very like trendy stuff, pretty much what the guy said in his video, of course. I can't remember his name right now. I know it starts with a D, but here's his name again, just to give him credit to really let me know about my revelations and like my wish-washy tendencies and what I feel like is truly me to my heart and soul and being, of course. But like yeah, I think I said pretty much about that. I could go on a long tangent about social media and what I'm doing on social media and what I'm looking to do on social media like so many times, and you guys may get tired of hearing it, or maybe not, so you can take some tips from it here and there. But I feel like I'll talk about it like on a more rare occasion in my upcoming videos. But like yeah, like I just want to bring out that awareness and sense of like shorts isn't always the way to go, and you can just do it for fun. But when I think about like in a business sense, like full-time type of social media career type stuff where you're making videos, for your thing, for me ends me and stuff like that, I always love long form content. It's always been a part of like my subculture through it conditioning me when I found YouTube back in '06 as a kid in middle school. So yeah. So you know what we can do while I'm talking about my job currently right now and what has happened with it? We're gonna fold my babe's laundry for him, of course. Been a great domesticated boyfriend right now because I am literally a apartment slash house husband for him currently right now. Because my job currently right now, they reduced my hours a little bit more. So they probably saw like my availability sheet, and I was 50-50, or like maybe like 90 or 20% in between, the 90% being like they could do it, like fill me in on some part of my schedule maybe next week while they're getting underway. But it seemed like it was more so like the 30% took over the 90% of like them not being able to fulfill it too much. Because currently right now I have, and I'll show you a little screen cap slash capture of right here. They pretty much took my hours away for this whole entire weekday, and I'm only working Saturday and Sunday. You know, I have to tell myself it's fine because I'm doing other stuff on the side, like YouTube, honestly. And there's like my honest reaction to it, I guess you would say. And this is like where you have to like, you know, really stay humbled, really stay put together. And knowing I'm doing something that I really love right now, that I feel really passionate for, you know, and knowing like something will come out of it sooner or later, but knowing like I'm still gonna be working this job. Hopefully that's what it looks like, and not like in the sense of like, you know, quietly leaving out Stranger Things. Ha! Hellfire Club, Stranger Things. I love this show, my guy. But yeah, he looks really good in graphic tees. I will say that. I know he wants to like get more into like different fashion stuff, right? Like styles here and there, and I want to be able to show him like what he can do with his fashion and stuff, so we can be looking stylish together. So yeah, loveliness. But yeah, but you know, it's like those things where I get scared where like when you see like you're not scheduled for like a full weekday, that could be foreshadowing something very negative in the future with your job. But how I've been working at my job, it doesn't seem like that. And like how like they're just really trying to find ways of where to put me, of where I really want myself to be nichely put at. That's don't know how it can be described, where I want to be particularly put at. And I know like the business would put me in certain places of like how the business is going, and they hired on a lot of new people. And I know most of the time when they hire new people, especially if they're young people here and there, they want to work in midday shifts, and I want to work midday shift. And honestly, I wasn't really put on a lot of like morning shifts for the weekdays, honestly. I was more so put from like, I want to say like 10 to 1 or 10 to 3 or even like 3 to 6 the past week that went by, like the last week or the week before that last week. I may have talked about in one of my other videos recently from this one, when it was about like me doing like my little car vlogs and stuff at the beginning of this channel, which really wasn't that long ago, but it feels long ago right about now, honestly speaking. But yeah, honestly, you know, because I feel like for me, I feel like they should be able to work something down for how long I've worked with them for about 3 years now, after my anniversary this June, and how much hard work I put in with them. And it's like that thing where it's like the store I work at and fast food, I like to say and add, they feel like they're down to earth, like management team here and there, supervisors. And honestly, like, yeah, like it could be 360 thing. And I'm not trying to like put like my whole heart into like a company and being like they're gonna solve all my issues, all my problems and stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's like I said in my other job, it's not like I'm gonna be making like $2,000 paychecks at this job. You know, it's like that money doesn't come around unless you're like saving like $300 for your paycheck within like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 months to get at least about $1,000 or $2,000. If you're only making $1,500 per hour and you are only working from like 5 to 6 hours a day, sometimes 8 hours on 1 or 2 days out of the week, and that's pretty much about it. It really does feel like it goes up and down, but still like it's very like, I want to say still like a good consistent paycheck where it can be like from $700 to $800. So it's like the shifts are like 25 to 30 hours a week, you know, back to back for 2 weeks worth of work. So yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, it's fast food, you know, is what it is. I told myself it's not really a career for me, but it is a job for me though. It is a job. I told myself like I didn't want to be a manager anymore or try to be a manager because I was going out my way to utilize some outside resources to get like certain certifications to become a manager. But I don't think I would want to carry that restaurant stress on my back and really get into the nitty gritty of like having to call in people and having to put people in certain positions that they would like or may not like, but I have to still put them in that position. You know what I'm saying? Those are just the main things, main goals for like the higher ups that tell me, like the supervisor or district managers or supervisors being like, hey, you gotta meet these goals. You gotta really be hard on, you know, your workers, like stress to them, like, hey, you gotta meet these times, pass out the food more faster in the drive-through, all that yada, yada, yada stuff. But yeah, but I probably talked about this a little bit too longer, but hopefully y'all loved it just to see insight into my job and my reduced hours. But at least with this, it gives me time to do more YouTube videos. So yeah. And if you guys want to hear some pretty cool news for any casual gamers out there or anyone who feels like they're just into gaming but only this one particular game, GTA 6, here goes the prices, and pre-orders are starting pretty much off the bat right now. And yeah, I know everyone who's a gamer or anyone who just plays that game and they're not a gamer and they call themselves not a gamer, but they would play a GTA game or they heard of GTA, of course. It's like when you know about like football or basketball, but you're not into sports like that, you know, type of thing, where it's very like nationwide, like everyone knows what GTA is, you know, Grand Theft Auto, the games. So yeah, I know everyone's been saying like, this is the only thing that's gonna be taking my whole paycheck, and I'm not buying no game for the rest of the year, or I'm not playing no other game for the rest of the year, that people would be saying. So let's see if that lives up to it. But with it being close to like $100 for the deluxe edition or the higher edition, however that is, honestly, I can see a lot of people who make a good amount of money who can spend $100 for a game, and then they'll buy another game for like $50 or $10 if it's like a thrift game or something like that, you know? So it's not like no one can buy like another game from all the certain gamer YouTubers that I would watch or see that have like over like 100,000 subscribers or even like 500,000 subscribers, and they're a full-time streamer and a full-time YouTuber, gamer, or streamer on YouTube at that too, and not just on Twitch. Yeah, honestly, it's hard for me to believe like that they'll like not buy another game. They're just gonna be preoccupied with GTA 6 for the meantime, especially if they come out with their online mode, which is always a thing with a GTA game. It'll always have an online mode, so I suspect this one to have one too. If they have an online mode, then people are going to be very distracted with that, modding it on, you know, on their PCs if they have to, for voice chat, modding it so they can become different objects to play different made-up games that they created with mods in GTA, you know, role-playing a lot. And yeah, and if you don't know anything about that, you can look up on YouTube GTA role-playing videos from GTA 5, and they're pretty hilarious, especially for the ones who have a big mouth on them in the most kindest and appreciative way as possible, because these are some funny people that can get behind, especially the ones who are gay, a part of the LGBTQ community, being like, you know, they're slaying the boots down type of vibe. And yeah, they're just completely hilarious, like a stand-up comedian, of course. So this is how outside's looking right now, y'all. I'm actually show the other outside. So it's pretty much looking like this. It's like the in-between where it's like almost like the sun's about to set, but not just yet though. But yeah, but I guess I would say for like my next few days off from work, from, you know, going into tomorrow, what I'm gonna be doing is probably looking at some special features to the Lost DVDs. My guy has all the bundles, and I'm probably gonna watch a lot of like the Evil series with him and things of that nature that he's trying to get us to watch together and get me into, of course. We're gonna binge watch that next, of course. I think I really like the pilot to the first one pretty well. It's kind of like X-Files, but think of X-Files with like demons and ghosts and things of that nature, of course, like demonic possession and having to do exorcisms. It's like that type of vibe. And then of course it has like the guy who played Ben from Lost as like the villain again, like the ultimate antagonist. So I thought that was pretty something. Him being possibly the root of like why Lost stuff is happening. So yeah, very Lost coded, kind of funny. Yeah, but really nothing else special, y'all. I'm probably gonna update you on how I'm feeling, gonna talk about different talking points and stuff coming soon to the future. Pretty much just yapping, just having a yap session. I feel like, you know, my words hold a lot of weight here on YouTube rather than on TikTok, which I know a lot of people say, because I watch a lot of YouTubers who say this and smaller YouTubers who say this, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, they're getting somewhere here on this platform, and I love that for them. I encourage them to keep going, like how I'm going to keep going. But yeah, if y'all have kind words for me, thank you so much for, you know, gearing that towards my way, of course. But yeah, it feels like, you know, like this will be like those times where I would feel down and stuff, but I don't feel too down, because at the end of the day, YouTube's like my second job. It's like my full-time gig, and I'm gonna keep saying that to myself, like when I actually do become monetized in the future, compared to like my other jobs. Like my other jobs that give me a paycheck or part-time paycheck, they're just a psychic to me, you know. That's how much I really do believe in myself as a YouTuber and stuff, and being with so many YouTubers I've viewed over the years and supporting them and commenting under their videos. Yeah, I just want to take action and just pretty much do my own thing and see where it leads me, of course. But yeah, but besides that, y'all, I think this is the end to this video. So hopefully you guys loved my bantering here and there. And yeah, it's not always going to be these type of videos, but of course these videos did have a point to them from the title. But besides that, you know, much love to everyone out there of the world. And you know, of course, everyone, peace and love, like my motto I always say as my slogan, of course. And y'all have a lovely day as well, and I will try to, of course, as ever, as you know it, get into the loveliness, okay? So stay lovely.